Comrades, welcome back to City Skylines. It's been a while, but luckily the time here in Gibraltar is standing still, so from their perspective no time has passed at all, if only it were so easy to manipulate time in real life. Since the last episode, somebody was kind enough to leave some suggestions for names, so I'm going to implement some of those today, so at least there's progress on that front as well. And I'm hoping that relatively soon we'll unlock these southern tiles, because that's holding up the ferry system here. Unfortunately, I didn't really look before I built these ferry structures, but it's okay. They're just turned off for now, so they won't cost us any maintenance, so that's a good thing. There's no use having them, but they're not doing anything. So, if we just have a very quick overview of our situation right now, financially we're doing very well, I think anyway. For a relatively small town of 6,000 people, we're making a decent profit. We don't have that much money in the bank, but it should accumulate relatively quickly. Then in terms of demand, if we just have a look here, our residential demand is quite high at the moment. So there's a lot of people who want to move to this great city, and I certainly don't blame them. So we just have to find some housing for them. Then the next is, of course, the commercial zone. There's a medium demand and a relatively low demand for industry or offices. I think in the longer term, just before starting this episode, I was considering this a little bit. In the long term, I would probably like us to get rid of most of our industry and replace it with offices, just because I want Gibraltar here to be like a service and banking center, and even if we can pull it off like a gambling center, not in a bad sense, you know, in a classy way, like saying this is the English Monaco on the Mediterranean coast. So hopefully we can get a casino or something like that in here. But that's for the future. Right now we just have to get some more basic expansion done here. So let's have a look at this issue. I think this is a problem. This placeholder keeps coming back after I reload the game, so anytime I create a new name, it just reverts back to placeholder. And I think that's because it's such a small zone here. It must be. Perhaps we can fix it by expanding the zone a little bit. So let me try that. Let's just hope that sort of fixes that. This is the hotel district, I think. If we just go back to it. This is tourism specialization. That's right. So I definitely want to keep that, because this is supposedly our high-class waterfront area, or at least it will be one day, hopefully. But right now we've got probably some budget hotels, but that's okay. Some of them are looking a bit nicer though. So for this one, let's call this one Cheshire. That was one of the suggestions. It's like the Cheshire cat. Let's just hope that fortune smiles on us and that she doesn't disappear. So let's say Cheshire and just leave it at that and see if this will keep it now. For the rest of this district, I think let's just create the actual outline first. I can probably just unpause for now on slow speed. That should be fine. So let's just create this district. But now I have to stay away from Cheshire for a moment, just because if I draw over that and change the boundaries, then the hotels might get destroyed. So I'm going to have to do that with a small brush. Just have to be quite careful here. You see, like that one now, I'm not sure if that will delete that hotel. So let's just take great care here. We've got some power problems, so I might just as well pause again. There we go. So that keeps the integrity of Cheshire. So let's have a look. What's the issue here? I think we just don't have enough power. That's correct. So what can we do about it? We can just open these windmills again. They were shut down because there was no need for them. And then we can unpause. That should take care of it for a while. So that's of course the good advantage of having a high altitude area right in the city. So we can use it for a lot of wind power. That should take care of it. Yep. Good. So for this one right now it's called the Middle District. I think that's not a bad name. We should probably call this area the Middle District. But this one I'm going to call Cobblestone. That was another suggestion for a name. So not cobblestone, just cobblestone. That's got an extra fancy ring to it. So let's hope that this area prospers now. Let's just have a look what's happening here. We've got quite a bit of traffic. Hopefully more people will decide to take the monorail. It's not very full. 419, that's not bad. At least I don't think so. This is the first monorail I've ever built. So let's have a look at the rest of this area. So we still need a name for our residential district here. So let's just create that quickly. This is of course where the Rock Primary School is. I'll just call this whole area one name, I think. It's sort of a mixed area again. Just like that. And then instead of saying Belmont, which is not a bad name again, I have to say, this one will be Fathom Flat. That was another suggestion. Very good one too, because that's exactly what this is. It's a flat area. So, housing. Housing is the issue at the moment. Let's think about this. This is where I want the future port to be. So this will be more heavy industry perhaps, or at least some light industry here and there, but like the port buildings and so on, they will be here. Then behind it, this will be the main downtown area, I think. So the center of Gibraltar, all the government buildings and so on will be there. Then further down we'll still plan about that. So I think for now what we can do is we can start developing this area and then extend this road network into a full avenue that goes down and across to Cobblestone. I think that works. Then we can also expand the monorail. Actually, I'm quite impressed by this monorail. I might just keep using that instead of subways eventually. So we won't use any subways here. So for this, let me pause and let me think for a moment. So let's see, let's grab the roads, and this area is relatively flat, but there is a little bit of a bump there, but that's okay. The area can have a, area with some better views watching the coastline there. I think that'll be nice. So in that sense, let's go right to the edge again, and I'm going to use the, let's say the curved one for this. Maybe right up to there, and then we can curve it. Don't want to impinge too much on the rock here. So we'll keep that straight and then curve around like that. Yes, I think that's decent. It doesn't create any, strange terrain height changes and things like that. So let's continue with this, and there's a bit of a bump, but that's okay. And then continue straight on like that. So there is one of these bumps, but that's okay. We can call this High Street or something like that, because this is literally going to be the highest area of this part of town. So the next one, I think we'll just follow the same kind of pattern again, more or less. These guides are very useful, I have to say. Of course, with a curved road like this, it's never possible to match it exactly. But that's okay again. That's just part of the quirks of the town. Let's have a look. That should be good enough. And if it overlaps here and there, that's okay. We can always put some trees in. It's always a problem if one is trying to be too perfectionist, I think. So that gives us a good coverage, and maybe one more street like that. Then we'll use like the avenue and then the more high density area. Actually, I can just let the clock go. So we'll do the same here, just a short straight section, and then it curves around from there. There we go. Actually has to curve back a little bit. Maybe I should turn the snapping off. Guidelines, angle, let's see if that helps. Little bit. Our vacation was extended. Could someone water the plants? I'm sure that can be arranged. And that should be okay. It's not exact. There's a gap there, but it's not bad. So now we have to get a way for the people to connect between them. So let's actually start right here. And for this I'll just use the normal straight roads. And then another one somewhere here. Maybe a bit back. Don't want it to be too much of a strange angle. There we go. Both are 90, but they have a bit of a kink in them, but that's okay again. So last one should be here, and that will do for a nice new housing district. Of course it has to be connected now, and I think this is a highway actually. Yes, this is one of those double highways, the new ones that just have the 2 lanes. Let's think about this for a moment. Actually, what I might do is I'm just going to pause the recording for a moment while I just think about the future planning here. Okay, I think I more or less have a plan now. I just paused the game immediately. So let's wait for this tram to just get out of the way, because I'm going to have to demolish this entire tramway now. And okay, let's stop there. I'm sure they'll adjust if I demolish it. Just because then we can replace this. I know it's going to slow down traffic because it won't be a highway anymore. I just have to fix that power line as well. Sorry guys, I'll give you a new road in just a moment. Just because if I replace it with an avenue, I can put the tram line directly over the avenue again. And now they're going to float in mid-air for a moment. Oh well, it's paused, so it's okay. Now, I think we'll keep the general structure. You know, it goes around this little hill, and then we'll just use the same exact kind of avenue. So let's see, where are the avenues again with the monorail tracks? And for this, I don't want to make it exactly straight, so we'll use a bit of a curve again. Like that, perhaps. That looks nice. No strange curves. You know, it must be more of a gentle curve, though here it's going to be a problem, probably. I might have to use a right angle here. Yes, I don't think that's going to look so nice. Although, that's not bad, actually. Let's keep that. And then it's going to have to go across to that one. No, that's a bit funny. It's another advantage of doing this while you're paused, so that it doesn't, you know, you can still claim back the money when you delete it. There we go, that's much better. So yes, this thing can be adjusted in the future a bit. It's a bit of a sharp turn there. But then out of this, we can have another one that goes directly to the south there. And let's just see. I think again we'll just follow this general pattern again. So maybe even somewhere there. Oh, what's the problem? Okay, so it's going to have to go directly to downtown there at the moment in Fathom Flats. Maybe if I do this directly 90 degrees off, it'll be able to go both ways. Although I like this more, let's keep that for now. Not enough money. Well, that's regrettable. At least the road is connected again, and the monorail tracks as well. Let's just see, is there anything more? I can just create a basic connection with this part now. Like that, and of course fix the power lines. Just gonna have to delete that one as well. And page up. Great, so carry on then. Keep calm and carry on. Okay, everything is moving again, that's good. So now, this area will of course need a new name, but I think we'll name it in the next episode probably. Should this be high density or low density? I'm wondering. I think predominantly low density. This is where all the rich people will live one day, I think anyway. Some of it can be higher density. So let's just make most of this low density and just get a good coverage here. Then connect the power. It's not going to go over. I have to raise it a little bit. That should do. And of course water as well. The water pipes still have to be adjusted so they follow the road network better. But for now I think it's decent enough. Just like that. I wonder if we'll be able to cover it on this side. Not enough money. Oh well, they'll complain for a short while that there's no water, but that'll be fixed soon. What's happening? Why isn't the local government doing anything to stop the fires? What fires? I don't know why they complain about that, because I don't see a single one, unless these ones, these buildings that are now abandoned. Those weren't due to fires though. Just abandoned. I might have to get that mod that demolishes abandoned buildings. We can leave them for now. There's some more as well. It's all commercial things. I guess there's no demand for that type of building. High density commercial. Although there is some. Oh well, it'll sort itself out. Let's get this water problem fixed first. Just like that. And then also I want some high density right at the top of the rock. Yeah, well, this is the bottom of the rock, but at least so that the people here can look over everyone's heads basically. Let's go all the way around here. Water is fine. Public transport like buses and things like that, that still has to come, because right now a lot of people are using cars. Although again, there's not really that much traffic. There's a few cars here and there, but I'm not worried about it right now. I'm more worried that the monorail actually makes a profit. Let's have a look at our finances. So where can we see that? Expenses for the transport. Well, for the income, monorail, that must be the one there on the bottom. So that's 912. What's the expense? Big city. That's great. Crematorium, water treatment. We have to use that quite quickly. And we get more land, as well as the cryopreservatory. I think this is new. Controversial building stores the clinically deceased until the technology, becomes available to revive them. Good grief, that must be for the really rich people, but anyway, unique buildings, we're still unlocking some of those. Let's just pause for a moment. Can we get more detail here? Let's just look at the budget for the monorail, 640. But we're getting in 732, so I think we're making a profit from the monorail. It must be, that's clearly the monorail right there, yes. So that's good, okay, no need to worry, carry on. Then eventually we'll put a stop here somewhere, and hopefully the people nearby can access it as well. There's a bit of a hold up here as cars come into the territory. That's a bit unfortunate. No, I don't like this. Let's just stop for a moment. Eventually I'll have to devise a permanent solution here, but I think right now if I can just reduce the numbers of turns that they have to make, that might help. Unfortunately, we can't go straight here. Just see, no, the building is in the way there. Of course we can move it. Maybe we should do that actually. Yes, okay, let's experiment with this. I'll relocate the building and just put it on that side there. Simultaneously happy and unhappy. Can we continue it now? Just a straight road. Yes, great. And then somehow connect directly into the roundabout. Okay, I think all of this has to go. It's not willing to play along here. What if we go from the other side? Oh, that's going to look awful. That should be okay. Let's see. So at least now they don't have to make these funny turns. They can just come straight into the roundabout. Let's see if that works. They might just actually go through there again. Oh well, whatever helps. And now this thing is looking terrible here. No, this whole thing has to be redesigned eventually. Let's just see. Are people building here? Yes, they are. And let's put a park or something down for them. A small playground, maybe? Or actually something bigger. Large playground, dog park. Park with trees. Oh, that's a massive one. What about one of these Japanese gardens? Right here by the foot of the rock. No, we do want it to cover more of the houses. Right there. It's, yes, the contour is of course now trying to match the landscape here, so it's got a bit of a odd shape. We might have to move it again, but for now it's okay. Let's see, commercial is really the thing now. Looks like the abandoned buildings have been taken care of. Hotel Intercontinental, it's running again. What's happening here? There was a fire here, so the land is still scorched. That's not so nice. Can I put some trees or something here again? Well, they all look like that right now. No. Hopefully it'll not look so scorched anymore. I'll have to put a small park or something in there if I can. Let's unlock something. We're still not going to be able to go around here, unfortunately. So I'm going to just buy the biggest piece of land. 9,200, that's fine. We've already got the money again. And we'll unlock the next one. We just go, no, wrong thing. So not the next one, the second level after this one, the capital city. So we basically have to double the population. Then we'll be able to unlock that last one. So let's think for a moment about this area here. There's not a lot of possibilities here, but in the real Gibraltar, I think there are some, small settlements along this side of the rock, a few houses and so on. So maybe if we can get a road that follows this little ledge here all the way around through there and then tunneling through. I think that's what happens with the real one as well. There's a tunnel through here. But I'm not going to try and follow the real thing too closely again. Let's just see if it's possible. What shall we use for that? I don't think we're going to take a monorail past here. Just a normal road. Just see if we can get it to go straight here. Yes, so it's a bit of a sharp fall there. So I mustn't drive off the road, but at least it'll be a scenic one. Not the prettiest, but okay. Bit back. Let's try from the other side. Here we can maybe fit in a few more buildings if I just hug the the mountain here very closely. Yes, I think we will. And I don't need to build the tunnel yet. That might be quite expensive. Let's just see if we go right through here. Slope too steep. It's 20,000. That's not terrible. But that's not a tunnel, I think. Only that little part there. No, I think it is possible. It's fighting me a little here. That's not healthy. Okay, never mind, never mind. Leave that for now. Let's just make sure this is connected, and then we can start developing this place. Bit further and then turn. That's okay for now. So my idea with this area is almost like a little bit of a hideaway, you know, for a small holiday resort and housing and things like that. But for the people who don't want to be near the hustle and bustle. So quite isolated, but, you know, nice and quiet, and they can watch the sunrise and all of that. So I think the first thing is let's just get some water out here. And while we do this, of course, the city continues to earn money and grow a little bit. That wasn't done very well. But that's okay. There we go. So, let's have a look. Right here, I think. Let's see if we can... now the issue is going to be power. Could we run a power line on this side? Not really. Or maybe. That's not going to look very pretty though. I might have to get a mod that actually allows us to move the power with underground wires instead of this. I have used one of those before, just because this is not going to look very nice. All the way there's these power cables. No. But for now we'll just put a few houses down here. So there's not going to be services and things here like schools and so on. They'll just have to drive to town if they want that. Let's just remove that edge so they don't change the terrain too much. And here, this should be a nice area. Now for the commercial, I think, well, we'll have to create a new area again. They're already developing. Let's just stop for a moment. So for this, I just want normal. Should it be low density or high? No, I think low density, like little boutique hotels and things like that. So we'll put one down there, and just a bit of a distance from the houses, not directly next to them. So now we'll just have to kind of figure out how to make this a different area. It's going to be quite difficult without seeing it now. That should be okay. I'm just going to go along the coast so I don't have to make 4 different areas. Like that, I think. And then, where were the other ones? Right down there. Okay, let's see what happens if I turn this into another hotel area. I think I have to do it here. Commercial specialization. So again, tourism. Okay, let's let it run and see what happens. Actually, I'm going to change the time of day just so we can see what's happening. The sun is all funny again. Time is up. Let's just wrap up here by changing a few things. Let's see. Latitude. I just want the sun on this side. Like that. That's okay. I'll sort this longitude and latitude and all that out later again. This is looking quite nice though. Let's have a look. Can try to sculpt the landscape a little bit more here. But this is the idea that I had. You see, they just sit here right on the edge of the ocean, and there's no beach here. This is just straight on a cliff. But still, this should be a very sought after area to live, I think. It's a private pool, so I think the tourism thing is working. Swimming school. Frutti di mare. An iron person gym. Hold on, is that a tourist thing? Yes, it should be. This one might need to be expanded a little bit. And the last one... No, not that one. Bit further. There. Okay, so by the next episode I'm just going to have a look for some mods to take away the power lines. Nothing, you know, too drastic, just so we can bury them underground at least. And what was the other thing now? A mod for something. Now I've forgotten already. Oh well. I'm sure if the need arises we can look for it again. But this is looking quite nice. So you can imagine this would be quite a sought after area for apartments. And you just look over here, but there might be some skyscrapers in the way. But right now they can see the Spanish side. Let me rename this to High Street. There we go. And yes, I think I'll let it run for a little bit and just accumulate a bit more money. And then I'll install the mods and see you in the next episode. I know, again, I have to say it's a slow progression with this series, but that's the way I want to play it, you know? Just very relaxed and enjoyable, and you know, there's no pressures in this game to try and take over the world or, you know, start wars like in real politics. And of course that has its place. I see the trees are now looking a bit better here. But yes, so this series is a bit more laid back. Anyway, hope to see you next time. And thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day.